She wants a 90% income tax, a tax on health care benefits, a tax on gasoline, a tax to benefit foreign job creation, a tax on the weather when it is hot, when it is cold, a tax when it rains, a tax when it snows, a tax on spring, a tax on summer, a tax on fall, and a tax on winter. She doesn't stop there. She not only wants to tax you when the climate changes, she wants to tax you every time the tide comes in and every time you take a breath. No wonder her eyes are always spinning. She just can't stop thinking of new ways to tax us. These taxes are an assault on our freedoms, an attempt at total government control. The new administration is rapidly assisting the effort to rewrite our laws and pass everything as fast as he can. President Obama openly admits that he is using the current crisis to rush everything through Congress without reading it. He is rapidly using his power to wipe out our free markets and install socialist economic policies across our country. These are the same failed policies that bankrupted many oppressive governments of the 20th century and left them on the ash heap of history. Yet our president continues to use his power to impose them upon us. Traitor! As stated by our forefathers in the Declaration of Independence, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Today we peaceably assemble to the petition of the government for a redress of grievances. By his acts to subvert our freedoms and break his campaign promises not to tax us, President Obama has taken away from us our ability to trust in our leaders and has worked with haste for everything he makes law. He appoints executives and czars who answer only to him, not to the people and not to Congress. He has made laws of acts unread before himself and before Congress. He has weakened our defense against foreign threats in times when we are most vulnerable. He has adhered to our enemies and given them aid and comfort. He has seized power from Congress, from the states, from the people, in efforts of abolishing our rights to follow our beliefs. He has removed officers from their positions without prior notice for pretended reasons. He has seized major economical entities of the people of the nation without the consent of the people or the states. He has, along with Congress, signed into law controlling acts based on unknown and unquestioned sciences. He has interfered with the free markets home and abroad. He has seized private enterprise. He has imposed controlled values on the wages of workers. He has used foreign propaganda against us. He is working to establish government institutions other than those allowed by the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, we must stand up for our freedoms and our rights. They are under attack like never before in the history of our nation. Today I issued 3 challenges. The first one is to Al Gore and the foreign interest groups responsible for the global warming fraud. Mr. Gore claims the debate is over. And on this he may be correct. All scientific evidence proves that man-made global warming caused by fossil fuel emissions is a fraud. It is the greatest economic fraud in the history of the world. There is no scientific evidence that carbon dioxide is pollution. Greenhouse gases are green. They stabilize the temperature of our planet and life cannot exist without them. The debate is over, Al, and you have lost it. So my challenge to you and the IPCC is this. Prove your claim that carbon dioxide is pollution. Show us the example of life existing on the earth without the benefit of carbon dioxide. I say you cannot. The accusation that greenhouse gases are pollution is a lie. Any politician who makes this claim is intentionally misleading the American people. Mr. Gore, you are nothing more than the mouthpiece of a foreign conspiracy to send our jobs and our wealth overseas. How dare you try to use false science to impose foreign taxes on the American people? You are a disgrace to your country. My second challenge is to Governor Schwarzenegger. It is a very simple challenge. Stop destroying California's farmland. Stop driving down the value of our real estate. Stop sending our jobs out of the state and the country. And stop your climate change hoax. You have created a man-made drought throughout the whole state. I challenge you to immediately issue an executive order to turn the water back on. If the government of the state of California intends to save the Delta smelt at the expense of crops, land, and jobs, then that government is violating the rights of the people. Fish don't vote. Fish don't pay taxes. Harvest that fish and turn it into cat food or fertilizer, but turn the water back on and the livelihood of millions of hardworking Californians. Stop trying to raise our taxes to justify your climate change hoax. My third challenge today is to President Obama. I challenge your energy policies, your environmental policies, and your economic policies. Your energy policies rely on expensive and inefficient sources. If private industry cannot make a profit with alternative energy, the government must not mandate its use with mountains of taxpayer debt. You are just forcing the American people to pick up all of the losses, just like you did with the banks. It doesn't make alternative energy profitable, it bankrupts the nation. As for your environmental policies, they are quite dangerous. Carbon is clean and green. It is the basis of our food supply and removes toxic poisons from the atmosphere. Anyone who has ever owned a fish tank knows that to keep the aquarium water clean, it must be filtered through carbon. If you sequester carbon dioxide, you will destroy the environment and increase toxic pollution across the globe. Finally, your economic policies are a complete disaster. It is you and the Pelosi Congress who have created this economic crisis. The stock market was at all-time highs in 2007 when Nancy Pelosi took over her leadership post. Between her anti-free market legislation and your campaign against profit, you have wiped out the lifetime savings of many American families. Bankrupted the American auto industry and sold it off to foreign interests. Instead of taxes on healthcare benefits, you should be offering tax credits. Encourage supply-side economics to fix our healthcare system. Since you took office, the United States has lost over 3 million jobs, deficits have skyrocketed, and our freedoms are under siege. In addition, you have cavorted with the enemy and refused to try the thugs who brought down the World Trade Center. It's time we stop talking about the waterboarding of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and time we did start talking about his conviction and punishment. Stop delaying justice, Mr. President. We, the people, are holding you accountable. President Obama, I challenge you and everything you stand for. We, the people, hold you accountable for the duplicity and deception you use to take away our rights. We do not cling to guns and religion, Mr. President. We have our arms and we have our faith. We cling to the flag and the Constitution of the United States of America. Thank you all for coming today. Happy 4th of July, and God bless America.